Yes, so hi everyone. Welcome to the day 3 of the cohort. Uh, just a quick question am I audible? You can write it in the chat like if I'm audible. So like we will begin with the today's session. Also, if you have any doubt or query, so I will be most happy to answer. Okay, so I'm audible. Okay, fine. So our plan for today will be whatever we will learn today. After that, you will be able to clone any UI screen. Okay, whether it will be Instagram, WhatsApp, Gmail, or your favorite shopping app, maybe Amazon. So after today's session, you will be able to clone each and every UI that you've seen on any screen. So yeah, okay, fine. So yeah, let's just begin. Just 2 more minutes. Like if you have any question, you can ask that question, or else we will begin. The only problem with the YouTube live stream is only I speak. There's no interaction. So maybe next time we can plan on Teams or Meet maybe. So it's like I'm quite lonely here because I can't interact with anyone here. I I can just read the chat, and it is also like a little lag of 15 to 20 seconds I think in YouTube live stream. So I think like there's no doubt. So I'm just presenting my screen. Okay. Okay, so I think my screen is visible, and let's just quickly revise like whatever we discussed in the previous session. Okay, so let's just begin. uh, in the Flutter, what the language we use is the Dart, and the starting point in the Dart language is the main function. Okay, and before main, like we have another file with the name main.dart. In the Flutter, again, if we talk, it is the main.dart file, and inside that we have a main function. Okay, so if we want to run any code in our mobile phone or in any application, for that we have a function called run app. And inside run app, like if we want to use the material library, so for that, for the UI part, we have material app function. And inside material app, they also have defined the predefined things like the app bar, the body, the floating action buttons for that. So for that, we have a function called scaffold function. So this part we have discussed in the previous session as well, and today majority major part will be covered on the scaffold, like whatever widget we can use, how to create the UI, how to add an image, how to navigate to the new page. All things will be covered here, so just don't worry. In the previous session, like we have discussed like how to put a text box inside the scaffold and how to create a body. So let's just go to the code here. So we are inside the code here, and I've created a new project here with the name D3 basically. So I'm just running this code, okay, and then we will just completely remove all of this code. So it will be a kind of fresh session for you. It will take 2 minutes to run this project. So let's just wait for that. So in the meantime, let's just discuss the more of this hierarchy. So as I already discussed, like we have a folder called Android, and inside Android we have the native functionality of the Android app. We have iOS folder. We also have the Linux, Mac OS, web, like whatever things we have selected while creating the project. All of those folders will be available here. Okay, so in the probably in the next session we can cover the native part, but today we will be focusing on the all of the complete hybrid application part. So the project has been run, and here we can see the by default hello world project here. So I'm just removing this things here. Okay, so it might confuse you, like what is a stateless, what is a stateful, what is a state, and what all things are here. Okay, but we will cover in some time, so it will be more clear to you. Okay, so I'm just removing this part, and inside run app, in the previous session we have discussed In the main.dart, we have a function called main, and if we want to run anything inside our app, that is to print here. So there's a function called run app, and we will be using the material 3 UI. So I just added the material app here. And inside material app, we have a home property, and inside that we will write scaffold, and the reason we have discussed in the previous session. So I'm just running this app again. So yeah, so it's the complete white screen here, and I will be creating a body here. Okay, a body with a text, and I want to put that text to the center. Okay, so I will be creating a widget with the name center, and the child of the center will be the text, and the text I will be putting with the hi, and I'm just running this project. So just a quick revision. And if I want to set some properties to this text, okay, so again, all of these are function. Scaffold is a function, center is a function, text is a function, and all these things what we are passing inside are the parameters here. And the parameters that we are using here is the named parameter, that is a child. So I want to put some style to this text. So I will press Control plus space. So all of the properties will be loaded here, and I will click on style. And that data type which is style support is text style. So I will just write text style, and again text style is a function, and inside text style I can press Control plus space to find out like if we have any property to increase the font size. Okay, so here I can see the font size. We have a property, and the font size, the data type it supports is a double. So I press font size, and I can increase its size to, let's say, 30. I will run this project again, and we can see the size of heights increase. Let's increase it more. So I think 40 is a little bit fine here. And if I want to add some more functionality here, like the font weight, let's make this high bold. So the data type the font weight has is a font weight itself. So I will just type font weight and click on dot, and I will find many functionality here, like to put the weight, like by default they have decided 700 bold, normal, or whatever. So I'm just going for the bold, and I'm just restarting the project, and we can see the high is now bold. So I think this part is a little bit clear to you. Okay, so the next thing like we can create is a app bar. So this part is the body, and if I want to create something here on the top of the app bar, okay, so the Flutter team or the Google team, I can say, has already decided like in the apps we have the same kind of thing. Let's just go to Google, and I will just type here the Gmail UI, Gmail, or let's be precise, Gmail UI mobile app. So I'm just clicking on the images, and here we can find, I think this is the previous version of the Gmail app, but here you can find this is our app bar, and okay, so this one I can little bit zoom it. So this part is the app bar. Here we have a search button. Here also we have some kind of button to add a drawer to the screen. Here we have the body of the app, and on the bottom right corner we have a button, but this is more of an icon button. Okay, and we can see this same functionality in the WhatsApp as well, and in the many other apps. Like we have some kind of button which is in the top right. Okay, and it is very easy to use. In the some app we have the plus icon or the chat icon, another icons we have, but the placing this icon here is the best option. Like their team has tried multiple times, like in some app they might have put this icon on the left, on the top, but the best place what they find here is on the bottom right corner. Okay, so their team has done all the research on the UI part, and we just have to use that part. So for that also they have added an app bar. Like basically if I want to add the similar kind of app bar which the Gmail app has, so I just have to type the app bar, and again app bar is a function here. Let's just run this. Okay, so now we can see that we have an app bar with a blue color. Okay, so again, why this color is blue? So in the previous class we have discussed like this functions the parameters, sometimes they have some kind of default value. So that default value here is the blue, like, but if we want to change this value we can change it. So my first requirement is to add some title here. This title may be some text. So here we have the primary, so let's just put the same here, text to be primary. I'm just running this code again, and we have a primary here, text. Now I want to change the color here. So I can just look out for a property with the name of color. So I can press Control the space again, and I will just type color. So here I found a property background color. and this is what I need, and I will put the colors.red. I will rerun the code, and here the primary, the same we have created. Now I want to put a button on the left side, okay, on the left side of the primary text. So again, we will be having, like, their team has already added this functionality, we just have to use. I will press control by space, and we will find a leading widget. Okay, so leading is a widget, and I want to add something here. Okay, so let's just not focus on leading because it will be a kind of image property. So if you want to, like, this is a widget. Okay, so if I want to add some another text, I can add that text here. Let's say hi, and if I will run this, so here we have the hi on the top right, as we can see. So if you will see, the title property is already centered, already the size is fixed. All that is because they have a property with the name title. If somebody has not created this app bar, so we have to create this from the scratch again, by putting the text style widget, each and everything. But now their team has done already the research, so we just have to use that thing here. And as we've seen in the most of the app, we, instead of having the text here, what we have is an icon. So let's just put an icon here. So icon, and we can, okay, so icon is again a function, or a widget is what I can say. So similar way, if you want to put any text, so for that we can use a text keyword. But if I want to put an icon, for that I can use icon property here. And icon support icon data, so I will just use that, icons dot, and let's say I want to put the menu. So I will just rerun this thing. Oh, so instead of adding it to the leading, I've added to the title. So I will just copy this thing and I will paste it here. So, and again, I'm putting text here because I want to put the button to be on the left side of the text. This is, so let's just put it again, primary, and I'm just running this code again. So here, now we have an icon on the left of the text. This is similar to the way what we have in the Gmail app UI. Okay, so like, now if I want to put some another widget on the right side of that, for that we again have a property with of the actions, which put the property on the right side here. But now your question will be like, how will we know that there's a property with that name? Okay, so answer, there's a very simple answer for that. Just go to a website called the Flutter documentation. So like, I will type app bar Flutter app bar, for example. Okay, so here we have a website which have all the, this is basically the documentation here of the complete app bar. So here they have added all the features here, like this is the title. If you want to add any widget, on the left side of that we have a property called leading. If you want to put actions, so you can put action. So you can just go to this website, and even you can try the demo here. And like, if you will change, like, you can just copy the code from here. Like, if you just want to add this part, you can just copy this code, paste in your code, and just try this website. You will find each and everything related to the text widget or some other widget, like whatever available in the Flutter SDK, you will find that thing on this website. So there's nothing to remember. Like, the reason I know this property is the leading is because I never learned, like, in each and every app I'm using again and again. So that's the reason I know this. But if you will have a new requirement, how you will learn about that? So for that, it is the best way to go for the documentation, because who has created this part, he knows the best thing about that. No other guy in the world can tell you about the app bar the better than the guy who has created the app bar property. Okay, so, and he has documented each and everything about the app bar on this website. So even a new guy, like, even if I will tell you anything about the app bar, I've just visited their website and I know about these properties from that part. Okay, so this part is little bit clear to you, I think, I'm assuming. Let's just uh, learn about some more widget. Okay, so for now, like, what we have done here is, we have, let's suppose this is our mobile screen. Okay, so here on the top we have created an app bar. So this part was our app bar, and this part is the body. This is app bar, and this is body. Okay, so here in the body we have put a single text with the hi name here. But my requirement is to put different things, not just one. Okay, instead of text, I want to add some kind of box here. For example, a red color box I want to put here. So for that, obviously we have some different widget. not text. So I'm just removing this text from here completely. And we have another property with the name container. So I've just created this container. I'm running this code, and as you can see, like we can't see any container here. So why is it so? Why we can't see the container? Because we haven't set any color, and the by default container is transparent, so it don't have any color. So we have to put some color here. So I'm pressing control plus space, and let's find out the color property. Okay, so we have a color property, and I'm just adding a color. Let's say blue color. I'm again running this code, and let's find out. Okay, so a complete body is created of blue color. Okay, but our requirement is not like that. My requirement is to create inside our app, what I want is to create a small box here, not the complete, but a blue color box I want here. Okay, so by default the width and height it takes is of parent. So the body, so complete here till here, it takes the complete size, but I want to set some height and width of this container. So let's just find like if we have anything support with that. So I will just type height. Okay, so we have a height property here, and let's type 200. So this 200 is a pixel. So 200 pixel, and I want to set a width as well of 200. So this will create a square box at the center of our app, and this square box is basically blue in color. And now my requirement is to put a high text inside this blue box. So any guesses like how we can do this part? What is better, Flutter or Dart? Okay, so Flutter is a framework, and to use that framework, okay, we have a programming language. That programming language is Dart. So there's no question like which one is better, Flutter or Dart. Flutter is just a framework. Like this SDK app bar is created there, and all the for loop, if functions, all of those are created in the Dart language. So Dart is a programming language actually. Okay, so again, let's go. Let's not just waste time because I have much more planned for today's session. So we have a property called child inside the container. The similar, we have a child property inside center. And if I want to put a text, I can just type text hi, and I will run this code, and the hi is placed here. And if you want to increase the size, we can increase that thing. But I want to put this hi again at the center. So again, what I can do is instead of directly writing it inside this, I will create another center property, and I will write this inside this text hi. So now we can see this hi is at the center of the blue box, and the blue box is again the center of this body widget. So here we can see the tree widget. This the parent here is center, and the child of the center is container, and again the child of the container is center, and again the child of center here is the text. So you can just look at this hierarchy. So everything we do here in the mobile app is like painting. Like we are just painting here. We have painted a blue box, we have added a text, we have added an app bar. So complete this thing is completely painting, and we just have to look at the property, like how we can use, like if I want to put a circle, how I can make a circle and add each and everything here. Okay, but there's a limitation here. Like if I want to put two text here, like hi and hello, below hi, if I want to put hello, how can I add that thing? Because child support only one children, and we have added that children as a center, and center again have only one children supported. So this basically, I think the requirement is not clear. So again, I will explain that part. So the container or the body, what we call, they support only one children, and that one children, like we can place it either text or a container. But my requirement is to put two text here. Like I want to put hello, and below hello I want to put hi. So how to do this thing? Okay, so again for that we have another widget called column here. And the best part of the column here is, like the similar way the container only supports one children, the column support children's. Okay, so that means like you can add as many items or as many widgets you want to put inside this thing. So I'm just removing this complete code from here till here, body, and I'm just creating a column. And inside column, if you will press control the space, instead of finding a child property, you have a children property. So the child only supports one widget, but as you can see, the children here is a list of widgets. Here we have a list and we can add multiple items in the list. Okay, so in the first session we have covered, we have multiple data types here in the Dart, and here the property children, here is a list here, and this is type of a widget of a list, not an integer, not a string, but what it will support is a widget. So let's just run this code, and I'm not putting any children. So as I've just rerun this code, it is empty. So if I want to put multiple text here, I can just put text hi and just run this code, and we can see the hi is added here. If I want to put another text here, I can just go here, text, and just put hello, and here we have a hello below hi. Okay, so I think this column property is clear. Like if I want to add two more, I can add two more here. So hi, hello, hi, hello. So if you want to change the style again, you can go here and add a style to your function. And if you want to put it to the center of the screen, you can wrap this column with the center. So this is how you can play with around the parent-child property, and you can just go like whatever is your requirement here. Okay, so let's just add another thing. Like what we have learned is the icon. So if I want to add an icon as well, I can add that icons like for example, let add an alarm icon. So I've just run this code, and here we have alarm icon as well. Again, like inside this icon we will find many different properties, which is color, shadow, like if you want to add direction maybe, or grade, and many other things. Okay, so if anything is not clear to you, what you have to do is go to the Google, and you have to type icon and flutter, and you will find the complete documentation, like whatever things you can try with this icon. So I think this is a little clear to you. Okay, so this is again like whatever we have learned, widgets. So the first widget, like we have learned, was the text widget. Apart from text, we have learned the icon, container. Apart from container, we have learned column. So each and every have a separate use case. If you want to put some text, we have a text. If you want to add an icon, we have an icon. If you want to put some box kind of thing, we have a container. And like the what container doesn't support, it only has a one child. So for that, we have another property here with the name column, which supports multiple child, and we can put many items from top to bottom. Okay, it will list. And how column works? It works like a column. Imagine this is an Excel sheet, and we have a inside column we can put different things out here. Okay, so but my requirement here is like what we have done here is to put a text above another text, and we have then added an icon. Okay, so this part we have already created, but now my requirement is to put an icon here. I want an icon, and just to the right of that icon I want to put a text. Okay, so how I can do this thing? So the similar way, we have a property called column to put widgets from top to bottom. So we have another widget with the name called row, and the row here is works similar way with the column, but it works from left to right here. Let me just show you. So I'm just removing all of this thing here, and just two widgets here, hi and an icon button, icon here, hi. Okay, so instead of changing column to just a row, all of the properties are same of column and row, but only thing the difference here is the text here is to the left, because the first property we have here is the text, and the second property we have here is the icon. So it works from left to right, and whatever I will write here, it will just place next to from left to right here. So the row works from left to right, and the column works from top to bottom here. So I think this part is clear. If you have any question, you can just ask. We can add text function here. Okay, might be you are telling something I'm just not getting. Moving text left to right in a line. Can you please repeat, Srishti and Aditya, like what you are talking about? It's not clear to me. Maybe I'm just guessing, like you are telling about the row from left to right in a line. Okay, so in the meantime, like we can discuss more thing out here. So I think this thing and we can just use the column and this property in an hierarchical form. uh, we will just try to clone some kind of a real app UI, so it will be better to understand like how in the real world we can use all of this property together. uh, Before that, any questions, like just checking? Okay, so I think no questions here. So just moving to the new concept here. So container, I think it is clear. Column is clear. Row is clear. Other thing like what we will learn today is how to place an image. So before I go to the image, let's just try with playing with only this two property: container, row, three properties: container, row, and column. By by using only this property, we will be able to clone somewhat of this Gmail screen. We can try to clone it. So I'm just moving here, and I'm just removing all of this part here from the body. Okay, let's just put a screenshot of this. Okay, so it's better. Okay, so this part already we have created somewhat. Even I can put some button here. Let's just put it here, so it will be a kind of a more clone. And as we've already seen on the website, if you want to put some icon before the text, we have a leading, and if you want to put some a widget on the right of the title, for that we have a property called action. And again, action is a list. The similar way we have list in column and row. That means we can put multiple widgets. So let's add another icon, and that icon will be search. So I've added another. Okay, so this is not running. The reason here is the body is empty. So I'm just putting a blank container here, so it won't be an error. And we can see a search button here on the right here. So I think we have cloned this part. Almost we have cloned this part. Maybe the font is different. That we can that we have to learn a new concept like how to add a font. So the time when we will be learning more about image, at that point of time, I will tell how to add a custom font, like how to download a font from internet and how to put that font in your app as well. So this part like we have already done. So let's just focus on this part. And this part, as we already know, is the body. From here to here we have the body. This was the app bar. So app bar we have already created, and we will focus on the body. So here to here we have already created a container, and just to confirm that this container is from here to here, I can add a color to confirm. And I'm just put a color red, not red. Okay, it will not look good. So I'm just putting a blue color just to confirm. Yeah, so container is from here to here. So let's just remove this color because we just don't want that. And the color here is the white anyways. So let's just add a this part here. So let me just try to break it down. This part, I'm trying to put this part. So again, this is a container, and this container has some fixed height and width, and inside this container we have separate different part. So what I will do here is I will create a container with a fixed width and height, and inside the width and height we will add many different elements as well. So okay, I'm just adding this color again so it will be clear, so how much width and height we are giving it. So the width I want is complete, so I will not set the width, but instead I will be setting height. So let's try with the 100 and look. Okay, so I think the 100 width is close to this one. I don't know the exact width of the Gmail app, but I think 80 will work. So we have added the property height to this container here. So now my requirement is to add three elements: the first one, the second one, and we have this part, third part. Okay, so what I can see here is first one is a icon. Okay, so basically this is not an icon, but uh and a circle, and on top of circle we have added a text. But for now, as we only know about the property icon, so I will add an icon, and here part I will add a text. So again we have a two kind of text. The first actually they have three, so let's not complicate it, and I will put a two text on the top and on bottom here. So I think this part, this is our aim, what we will be doing. So what we will do, we have a property called child, but child only support a single, but in our case we have a multiple thing here. But as we have divided it it into two parts. This is the first part and this is the second part. So that means we have a two widgets requirement. So, and the requirement here is from the left to right. So we will be using not column, but we will be using the row. The reason here is we want to place the widget from the left to right. So I'm adding the children of the row, and the first one is the icon. So I'm just putting an icon, and any icon I will be putting here. It is of AC unit. Just running this code again, and here we have an icon here. Okay, so I think this part is already done, and I'm just putting a text here with the text of the, let's say, hello, uh, and running this code again, and we can see a hello here. But again, like, my requirement is not clear. Like, I just don't want a single text, I want another text, and this text are not left to right but from top to bottom. So what I can do here is, like, instead of typing the text like that, I will create a column. So I've created a column inside a row, and inside this I can create the multiple text as I want to. Okay, so here is our sender name, and this will be our email text. This is email text. Just running this code again, and let's see how it looks. So here, as we can see, although this is not in the center of this, but we will be soon add this part. But I think we have added a little bit, two text we have added. But here in the app, as we can see, the first text is a little bit more in the size, and also the font weight is higher. So what we can do, I will just add a style to this. So text style, and text style, I can increase the font size, let's say 18, like, if it works. So I think 18 or maybe 20 we can add. So 20, I think. So I think 20 is perfect. So again, font weight, even I can increase the font weight dot bold. So font weight dot bold, and I can just copy this style from here, and I will paste this style in this widget as well. And I don't want it to be bold, so I will remove this line, and I want its size to be 18. So a little low than this one. Okay, so this part, like, we have created, but it also doesn't look exactly the same. So the first thing, like, I want is to place this at the center of this one. So if I will see, this column is from here till here, this is this column, and I just want to check about this column. So how I can check, I will put this column inside a container just to check. I will remove this container. Okay, but it will be more clear in visualization for that. So nothing has been changed, but as I want to see, like, how much property this column, like, how much width and height it is actually taking. So I'm just adding a property, like, I'm adding a colors dot ember accent. It is a mix, basically yellow color. So here, so this much space this column widget is taking from here to here. So already this column has the center part as well. But I want to place this text to the center of this column. For that, we have another property with the name of alignment. Not in the container, but we have inside the column. Inside the column, I want its alignment to be at the center. But as in column, we have two types of alignment. First one is the cross axis, and one is the main axis. So the main axis alignment works from the top to bottom, and the cross axis alignment works from the left to right. I will tell you the reason, like, why it is named like that. So I'm just adding the main axis alignment, and what it supports is, again support the main axis alignment as its data type. So main axis alignment dot center. I'm again rerunning this code, and now we can see that our text is at the center here. But again, like, here in the app, like, is, as we can see, the Google written here is at the same level. Okay, and here in our case, it is not at the same level. uh, it is basically a row inside a row. It is at the center part. Okay, so this part is the cross axis alignment. The main axis alignment work from top to bottom, and the cross axis alignment work from left to here. So cross axis alignment I am adding here, as, and here we have various value. So by default it is center, but I want it to be start, like, wherever our column is starting, at that point our text should start. And now I think this is looking pretty much similar what we have it here. Okay, so I think this is like more of a complex, so I will just repeat like what I've done here. I've created a container with the height of 100, and I've added a blue color, and inside this container I have added another child with the name row. So why row? Because I want two elements, first element and this part is the second element here, as we can see. The first element we have added an icon, and second element we have added it as a container. So I think we just don't want container, so I will just remove this part. The container we don't want, so I will just directly add the column here. Everything is same here, but we just don't want the yellow color as well, so yellow color is also removed here, and that's all. So that's how we have created this much part. But again, we have a requirement to add a little space here. Okay, so we have a little space. So how can we add a space between the icon and the column? Whatever things we have learned, like I will just use those widgets. So container you already know, and container I can add here, and I can set the width of the container. So let's add the width to the 20. So the container will be created here, but the container again is not visible because the by default color of the container is transparent. So here we have a container, and if you just want to confirm, I can add a color to show you that. So the yellow color I have added, and as you can see, it has a width of 20 here. So I just don't want it, so I'm just removing this part. And also, like, if you want to add some width before the icon as well, so that way you can add. There are various other ways also, and this is not the preferred way, but I'm just using the concept, like this is how you can use those concepts to create this UI. Even I will tell like what is the best way to add, if you want to add uh, a width between this object, or also if you want to add similar kind of margin padding as well. Like if you know the CSS, there we have a margin padding, so those properties are as well in the Dart also. So this part like we have already created, but here the icon is not clear. uh, Here we don't have an icon, but we have another kind of thing here. So let's just instead, let's get rid of icon and let's create another. Yeah, so I'm just removing the icon, and we have a text which is put inside a circle. So again, for circle we have a property, and that property is name of circle avatar. And how I know this, because if you will go to Google, and if you will ask how to place inside a circle, you will find this widget circle avatar. Just running this code again just to check. So here we have circular avatar, and inside this avatar what our requirement is to put a text, and a text will be a single character, which will be the S, and we have added a text with the S name here. So this is a similar way. Although the circle size is bigger here, so even we might have a property in a circle avatar. Just checking, control plus space, and here we have a property with the name radius, so we can just increase. I'm just increasing to 10. Okay, so 10 is small, so by default it might have 20. So if I want to increase more, so I will type here 30. 30 is bigger, let's go for 22 maybe. So I think the concept is clear. I think 24 will work. Okay, so 24 is looking quite good here. So this part like we have created, let's just get rid of this blue color as well, because we just don't need it. So this part like we have created, and if I want to use this property again and again, like what I can do, I can just copy this thing, container, and this is a row. Okay, so if I want to add multiple objects here, as we have it here, so what I will do, instead of writing this inside a row, what I will just copy this row and add a column widget here, because we want to add multiple widgets from top to bottom. And I've added a row, so everything is same, nothing will change. It is the same way like what we have, but it is little bit shifted to the top, and I will just tell you the reason like why it also shift. Again, like if I want to put some kind of height here, so again I can go for a container, and I can put a height, let's say 20. And here, okay, so it's now working fine. If I want to place multiple objects here, like what I can do, I can just copy this row, paste this row multiple times, and you will have the same UI. Something got broken. Okay, because the container height. Okay, okay, so one thing what we have done wrong here, is like, I'm just undoing this part. Instead of going for the instead of cloning directly like this, I have to clone container and I have to place this call container inside this column. So here we have the limited height here, and that's the reason our code break, because the whatever we have created is more the size it, which is present here. So if I will remove this, the our error will go. Just undoing that part. Okay, so I'm just pasting it here to just let you tell again. Pasting it again, I'm running this code again. So again we have an error here, but if I will remove this height, this error will be gone. So here this error is not there. So actually what we have to do here, to directly add the row inside a column, what we have to do is to put this row inside a container and the container inside the column. Okay, so this will work. Okay, so there's no issue. Like if I want to again add some width, I can add a width here, again height, sorry, not width. And okay, so the similar way we have multiple emails in the Gmail, so the same UI we have created a kind of clone of that UI. Again, like you will say, like we don't have the other property. Like if I were to click on this part, and it should open another screen with the where the all emails are displayed. But this is just the UI part. For that we have to learn some more concept for that. Okay, but at the end of the cohort, like you will be able to create a fully functional app like what you have, because this is just a screen and just a UI. For that we have a function like a button, where by clicking that we can go to some other page, and it will be more of a user gestures. Like it will support all the gesture. If you want to add a long press like what we have in few apps, long press, double tap, single press, or any other, so that all things like we will cover there. So the point of today's session is not to focus on that part, but the point of today's session is to how to create a how to clone a UI. So the similar way, the how to use container, column, and row, and just by using this you can literally clone the 90% of the UI which is available in the market. So I think this is a little ज़्यादा ना हो गया, तो just a quick question, like if it is clear to you. If you have any questions, just you can type here. I think there's a little 20-30 second lag. Even this part is clear to you, like you can just type in the comment, like this is clear, so I will just know, so I can move to the new concept. Let's just wait. Okay, yes sir, clear. Okay, fine. So I think no doubts. Like if you again have a doubt, like we can discuss at the end of the session. But I think this part is now clear to you. Let's just add this button as well. Okay. So again, we have an app bar, we have a body. So as guest, like we have this thing possible again as a widget as well. So inside the scaffold, let's find out. Like if we have some kind of a floating action button. So app bar, this is the body. I'm just closing the app bar and the body. So the code looks clean to you, and just find out like whatever property we have inside the scaffold. We have a background color, we don't want that. We again have a bottom navigation bar. So the bottom navigation bar is similar to what we have in the Instagram app. So bottom navigation bar, again this is a common thing which we find in many apps. In Instagram also we have. First one is the home button, then we have the search home. Here we have a search, again some profile we have here, profile, and many other things like again likes and other things we have. But the thing is, again this functionality is by default, not by default, like in the many apps we have the requirement of this thing. So again this team has created, and the name of that property is the bottom navigation bar. We have the bottom sheet. Okay, so I'm just explaining you what is bottom sheet. I think all of you have tried the Google Maps. So in the Google Maps, we have a thing. If we click on the direction, we have a start button here, and start button, and here we have some things, how much kilometer times. and we can just scroll this bar to the top, and it will tell you the more thing that you have to turn right, left, and all of this thing. So you will so scrolling any sheet from bottom to top. So if you have any requirement for that, so they have a property with the name of the bottom sheet. The again new property here is a drawer. So drawer here is the left to right, like in similar in the Gmail app. Like if I want to click here, a drawer comes from here to here for the menu and any other app. In the Uber also you will find this functionality, uh, and in almost in many apps you will find the drawer here. In Amazon also you have a drawer. Okay, so this is a drawer, but my requirement is not to go for this, but my requirement is to go for a button, which is a button, floating action button. Before I go to the button, let me explain you a traditional button. Okay, like if I want to put a button, and on clicking that button I want to, for example, print, like send an email, for example. Let's take an example. So how to create a button? uh, After that I will go to floating action button. So let's first create button. So we have various different types of button available in the Flutter, and it all depends on the requirement. Like sometimes it is a icon button, like image button, like if you want to click on the image it will navigate to a new page, or it is basically a button uh, which looks a little elevated from the screen, like it has some kind of shadow, so it looks like a not a kind of text, but to identify it as a button. Okay, so various different buttons we have in the Flutter, and the buttons have two properties. Like the text, we have a compulsory property, like we have to add some kind of a string here, but in the button we will be having two properties. First one is the text, and another one is what thing we have to do on clicking this property, and that what we call is the on press or the on click function. Like the because of purpose of the button and text, like the text we can't click, like it is not a user, uh, the user can't click on that. Okay, and the button, and the requirement is of the button is how the user can interact to that thing. So that's the basically difference between a text and a button. So let's just create the button. Like I'm creating this button below this row. So we have a various different types of button, as I already told. So I will go for the elevated button. So this is again a type of a button. We have other buttons as well, so we will discuss in some time. And as I already told, we have two properties. Okay, I'm again removing this elevated button. As soon as I will type elevated button, we have a two requirement parameters. First one is the on press function, like what will happen on clicking this, and another thing, we have a child. So the child I want to put it as a text, and the text I want to put here is the click me, for example. And here I want to create, this is the function. Okay, whether it is a send email function, so whatever thing I want to process on clicking this function, that it should send an email. So that part here is that on press function. So what I will do is I will create an empty function for that, and nothing will happen. I will run this code again, and here we have a function. Here we have a button with a click me, and as you can see, like if I tap on this, we have a little animation here, a click me. So it gives a little bit feel to the user that this is not a normal text, that this is a button. So you have to click this functionality. Again, on clicking this, nothing is happening, but let's see, my requirement is to print something. Print, let's say, button clicked. So I've just added a print statement here, and let's just see, I'm running the code again. And as soon as I will click on the click me, as you can see the button clicked. You can see on the terminal here the button click, button click, button click. And this button can be of anything: send emails, send a message, or to order an item from the Amazon. So if this is an add to cart button, then there will be some kind of code written here that this is a user, and we have to append some variable and kind of thing. So this is basically a button, and inside the button we can add as many things as we can want. We can again create a variable. We can write if else loop, for loop, each and everything what we discussed in the first session. We can use each and everything inside this button, because this is a basically a function. Okay, yeah. So I think this part is clear. So the next thing, like what I want to tell you, was the floating action button. So I'm just closing this body again. floating action button here. So the use of this widget is to place something on the bottom right corner. So I just don't know what property it supports. So again, floating button is a widget. So I can add any widget. For example, let's me add a text. I'm just running this code. I don't know where it has placed. Okay, so I have not added hi. So here on, as you can see on the bottom right corner, it has placed some text hi. So the use of floating action button is to put something on the bottom right corner. But again, the floating action button, we have kind of circular thing, and again we have some kind of icon there. So let's just find out how we can add that. So let me just guess if they have created something similar for the app bar. So we again have a floating action button as well. So I will just use a floating action button, and inside floating action button we can find the on press function, and I just want to put this function as empty, and another parameter, the floating action button. Okay, so it is not compulsory to, so here we have a button here, but I want to put some icon here. So let's just find out if we have some property icon. So we don't have a property with the name icon, but I think we have a property with the name of child. So inside the child I can add an icon, and that icon can be a pencil, like if I can say, or create. Okay, so for the with the name of create, we have a pencil of this icon, and we can add this button. We can add the icon over this to this button. So again, let's just not confuse. You can even put the elevated button here, but this is just a type of a button. The floating action button will be the round in the nature. It will give some shadow, and it will support some widget here. Okay, so their team has already created it, and again, if you want to change the color of this, here we have a property with the name of background color, and let's add the color to the red, and I can save this, and the red color is added here. So a little bit the clone we have created today here. Let's not mix and match each and everything here. So I think this will be all for today. If you have any question, like, you can ask the question here. How can we get multiple columns of email, like loop counter, like for loop? Okay, so this we will discuss maybe in the tomorrow session, because like what we will do here, like in the previous cohort also I've created an app similar to, like, if I have a video, possibly, like I can show you some kind of my project, what we will be doing in this cohort. Okay, so in the first day I should clear to you. Okay, so here everyone has used the Cowin to book a vaccine. So this app, like what I have created. So the problem which I faced at that time, uh, as soon as the vaccine got launched, in the 2 to 3 minutes the slots are full, and they don't have the proper time, like at the 11 or the 12 the vaccine slots are start. Okay, so for that, I faced the problem, and I created an app. So as soon as you enter a pin code of any location, so I have added a pin code of Indore, and as soon as you will click on here, so you will find all the slots available at that time, you will find here. So here we have all the requirement, and what I've done is I've run this app in the background, and it will auto fetch this, auto fetch in every 5 seconds if the slot is available, and it will give me a notification. So this part, like, I've created. We will create a similar kind of app, like so what exactly is happening here is, I've integrated it with the Cowin API. So the Cowin has given the API, and they have all the details about the vaccine. So I've just fetched those details, and I've integrated it in in my app. So again, as you can see, I think this part is what you are telling, how to add multiple things dynamically. So we will look into this part maybe tomorrow. We can cover this part, uh, but for that, like, all of this part is clear to you, then I can move to this part of. And on the final day, like, as we have already told, like, we will be integrating AI into our app. So what we will be actually doing, like, we will be integrating the chat GPT API into our app. That means you can literally ask the user everything inside the app. Okay, so for that we will be required few more sessions to clear the basic concepts here. So Mike, question is like, is this part clear to you? The container, column, rows, and how I've used the app bar. I will share this code to you today itself, and I will message in the group itself, like you have joined. So okay, sir, excited to know and learn. Nice. Okay, so I think this part is clear. Any questions, like I will be happy to answer, and if no questions, like we can end this today's session. For tomorrow's session, okay, so we have a little plan for the Monday to Friday. So on the Sunday, on tomorrow, I will teach you some more concepts, and after that, I will give you some task. This task will be a similar to like the vaccine app. So what you have to do is you have to create an app, and you it will be a revision of all those concepts, like which I've taught in all those 4 sessions. So any questions? Session is interesting. Thank you. Okay, so it is clear. Very nice. Okay, so guys, just a quick update like I would like to share with you. I just don't know. Okay, so screen is visible to you. Like I've started a new YouTube channel, so I will just like to give you a little introduction of that. Many of you already know about the Chat GPT. Okay, so Chat GPT. But how many of you know that the Chat GPT can literally code from any image? For that, I've created a new video on this. I would like to share the channel link with you. So in this, the name of the channel is 07, and this is basically our target for this session as well, this cohort. Like you guys have literally have zero knowledge of Flutter, but my goal is not to teach you the complete level, but I would like to give you the introduction how to create the basic apps, and my goal is to tell to make you go from 0 to at least 1 in the Flutter. And the similar goal I'm not have for the coding, but for the tech and the business case studies as well. So the few months ago I've started this channel, and very soon I will be more regular to this channel as well. So here I will be covering the various the tech videos, what is going in the market, uh, and what are the business case studies, like what you can learn so you won't be get fired in your job. Because uh, maybe the people still are learning HTML, CSS, but no company wants that. So this is completely the supply to demand thing. So I'm just sharing the link for this channel. If you like this channel, you can just subscribe to this, and I will be the most happy to know the feedback about this. An error occurred on YouTube. This okay. I just don't know, some error there is to post a comment. I just don't know why is it happening. Oh, I will share in the WhatsApp. So that's all. Attendance link, sir. Okay, so you will get the attendance link in the group itself, because I think Lakshit here, Lakshit is little busy today, so I will tell him to share the form link. And also, like I create videos like AI videos, like whatever new tools are there in market on Instagram. So you can follow me on Instagram to know the latest updates, like what I do. More of a coder. I am also content creator, so I create videos. You might already check the optimizer channel, that is more about the Flutter. And apart from that, the new channel I've started, and on the Instagram I create a smart short videos on what the new thing is already there. And even you can find the 07 channel. If you will see the thumbnail, and the many backgrounds which I've created are all AI generated. So even I will teach you those parts, and even in the offline session I've already teach how to use the Midjourney and other to scale up, like here. So that's all from my side. I think we already have 1 hour. Okay, so that's all. Thank you. Bye bye.